Good to see you guys. Just after 4 o'clock on Monday, November 3rd, the calendar is flipped, and we are officially under 24 hours out from the deadline, the NFL's annual trade deadline. The Ravens obviously got their whole activity started over the weekend. Really, you got to go weeks back, technically, when they dealt Odafe Owe to the Chargers in exchange for Alohi Gilman, who has been a plug-and-play starting safety for them. Really days after taking a red eye over to Baltimore. And then, of course, Howie Roseman and Eric DeCosta did some business together over the weekend. We'll get into that in just a bit, the significance of what that means for Jair Alexander, the Ravens salary cap outlook, future compensation when it comes to draft assets, and a number of other things, including what Adam Schefter just dropped earlier today, naming one specific Raven that could potentially be on the trading block coming up within the next 24 hours or so. Will Eric DeCosta be aggressive? And is he not done yet? All that remains to be seen. We've seen him in the past be aggressive. Look at 2022. Going to bring in Roquan Smith, doing business with the Chicago Bears. Go back to 2019, doing business with the Rams and bringing in Marcus Peters. Also, in 2023, activity that didn't end up working out, but not for a lack of trying. Chase Young with Washington at the time. Derrick Henry with Tennessee at the time. Last year, they brought in Tre'Davious White and Deontay Johnson. One worked out. The other obviously did not in a big way. Point being, I don't think it's going to be quiet. I don't think the Ravens are going to go away quiet. I'm not saying I'm banking on a blockbuster move between now and 4 p.m. tomorrow. But look, it's pretty clear. I think it's pretty clear to obvious. It's obvious. It's clear and obvious, to use officiating language there. Clear and obvious that the Ravens need help in the trenches, and they need help badly. And they are a player or two away from truly getting back to contending mode, which, let's be honest, they're still far from it based on the way that they've performed in recent weeks. It was a difficult month of October, but all that matters is that they're winners of 2 in a row. And as of right now, they're back in the hunt. The AFC playoff picture entering Monday Night Football is as follows. Indianapolis was handed its second loss of the season yesterday by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh 5-3, controlling right now the AFC North for the time being. I'm sure that'll change a million times between now and January. Denver improved to 7-2 yesterday with a win over Houston. The Patriots are surging under Mike Vrabel. They're 7-2 atop the AFC East. Wild card teams, if playoffs started today, Buffalo would be at the top of that list at 6-2, having beaten the Kansas City Chiefs yesterday in the 4 o'clock window. The Chargers improved to 6-3, and Jacksonville improved to 4-3. So in the hunt, Ravens find themselves back in that category, along with Kansas City, who dropped to 5-4 yesterday, Houston, and Baltimore at 3-5. And we know how it goes. The top seed receives the first round bye. Ravens were that in 2023 and 2019. And as of right now, again, subject to change, but as of right now, the Colts would hold that title entering Week 10. And speaking of Week 10, the Ravens, coming off their mini bye, will travel to Minnesota and face off with Kevin O'Connell's Vikings. J.J. McCarthy set to start under center. He came back in and led them to victory yesterday over the Detroit Lions, an upset for sure. And that game was held in Detroit, 27-24. Kevin O'Connell at the post-game podium, or I should say the day after podium in Minnesota earlier today, talking about his team's game plan for Lamar Jackson.
Defense in practice, the Lamar Jackson look. Do you just have Max do it, or do you use other players?
I'm actually going to do it this week. Yeah, no, I'm going to lace him up and figure that'll give him the best look at the athleticism that Lamar has. No, we've I'm sure we'll have. I think it's important. It might be a bunch of different players. From a standpoint, I think how Max and John take those reps at the quarterback position, where even if JG wins on a rush and tags him off, or Hargrave wins up the middle and tags him off, like, we're going to have those plays finish every single play, to the long past any whistle that I would blow just to make sure the guys on the back end are, plastering in coverage and understanding that some of the big plays that they make, it's not how they were drawn up. But then, what I think Lamar has done at such a high level to become one of the best at the position in the NFL is make the throws in rhythm accurately and finding the open guys, knowing exactly where he needs to have his feet and eyes set and being accurate. I think there's a reason why he's a MVP caliber player and one of the best at the position in the league. It's not just the skill set to cause so many problems athletically. He's an elite thrower of the football, and he's really processing. So you've got to play total team, complete defense, discipline. The rush plan needs to be absolutely ironclad, and we've got to still find a way to get that early down knockback and defend the run with Derrick Henry and all the things that they present that way. So I think it's going to be a lot of guys. It might be some other players, non-quarterbacks, going in there. I don't know that yet. I just know it won't be me. No, it's probably something that, I don't know if it definitely doesn't need to be a secret, because when Baltimore rolls into town, it's not a secret about who's playing quarterback for him and what he's capable of doing.
One of the young, really, really promising head coaches in this league, Kevin O'Connell for the Minnesota Vikings. They were losers of 5 straight games entering yesterday. And again, on the road, big, big underdogs. What do? They find a way. And J.J. McCarthy found a way. You look at his stat line, it did not tell the story. This team will be a tough out coming up on Sunday against the Ravens. And Brian Flores has certainly had Lamar's number in the past. Luckily for Lamar and company, they now have the answers that they did not on that Thursday night game in Miami when Brian was a member of the Dolphins staff. We all remember that. And the issues that Greg Roman's offense had against combating the cover zero blitz. And the Dolphins ran it early and often all over the Ravens en route to a bad loss on Thursday Night Football. But that is many moons ago. And now this Ravens team, again, comes off a mini bye. Lamar gets 10 days on top of what he's already gotten to rehab that hamstring. He came back with vengeance against the Miami Dolphins on Thursday night. What did the Ravens do to that organization? Well, as we talked about on Friday, they fired their GM. That's what Stephen Ross did, team owner for the Miami Dolphins. So they're in a disarray. But whether it's Chicago or Miami, there's only so much that you can actually take from those games, I think, from a takeaway standpoint, analyzing where Zach Orr's defense currently is entering Week 10. But all they care about, and really, quite frankly, all they should care about, is that they emerge victorious 2 consecutive weeks and now got to continue this to get themselves back from in the hunt into wild card territory. And that's the opportunity that they now have moving forward. Under 24 hours out from the NFL trade deadline. You probably popped into this live stream because of why it's titled. And what is it titled? Adam Schefter and the Pat McAfee show had a segment earlier today, and there was one specific Raven named in terms of any trade is possible. That's the file that this one is under. That's the category that this specific Raven is under. Now, before I bring up that graphic, I want to ask you, and feel free to call in and share a thought with me if you're interested in doing so. The guest access line can be found as a live chat pinned comment right now. Would love to hear from you. Who's the one player? Who's the one player on this team that, one, you think the Ravens could get some good return on? Meaning, in order, if you are willing to give up this player and part ways with this player, you think that that player would command something that's worth something to the Ravens in return. And 2, who would it be? Who's the one player that you would consider parting ways with? And I'm sure there's going to be draft compensation, capital within any kind of scenario. But who's the one player? Immediately in the live chat, I'm seeing a number of different Mark Andrews. And do me a favor, and I'm not saying that you guys have done this, but take the emotion and the frustration that perhaps is still lingering from the divisional round out of it. I'm not saying that you guys went there immediately, but just do me a favor for the purpose of this exercise. Take that emotion out of it and look at it objectively. Isaiah Likely is clearly their tight end of the future. But to sit here and think that Mark Andrews isn't still a very capable player for them, he may not be that way through 10 weeks or through 9 weeks, statistically speaking, and for sure had a slow start last year statistically, but still finished with a career best receiving touchdowns. You could potentially re-sign Charlie Kolar for tight end 2 money on top of the extension that you give Isaiah Likely, which will for sure be rich, I would imagine, based on his skill set and the potential. But at the same time, Charlie Kolar probably wants to get a legitimate shot to be a tight end 1 in this league. And I got news for you. I think he absolutely can be that. And I don't know if that's going to happen in Baltimore, given where he landed several years ago when I believe they drafted him in the 4th round out of Iowa State. I believe he was one of the 4th rounders in 2022 because Isaiah Likely was that draft as well. So I don't know, what I'm getting at here is don't immediately write off Mark Andrews because all of a sudden, if you extend Isaiah Likely and Charlie finds an opportunity elsewhere and gets paid in the offseason, which I could absolutely see that scenario, and Mark Andrews wants to be a lifelong Raven and is willing to take less to stay home, if you will, that's a hell of a scenario. I'm just floating that out there. And the Ravens have had a tremendous amount of success throughout the Lamar era running 2 tight end sets. So I'm just throwing that out there. Now, you guys were quick to go down the Mark Andrews route. Guess whose name is on the Adam Schefter report and on this graphic from his Pat McAfee hit earlier? You guessed it. It's Mark Andrews. And he's not the only player in the AFC North that finds himself on this list. Again, under the any trade is possible label. Wide receiver Jalen Waddle, Trey Hendrickson, Chris Olave. And I'm not suggesting that these are all AFC North players, but you know what I mean. Trey Hendrickson obviously is. Chris Olave, Breece Hall, Mark Andrews, Logan Wilson. Obviously, he requested out of Cincinnati. And if you're a member of the Bengals right now, can you blame him? Jacoby Myers, Boye Mafe, and Reek Woolen. Okay. As you also see over on the right-hand side, under possible buyers, I've double-taked this a couple times. I don't see the Ravens logo. Do you? And I wonder if one of the reasons we don't see the Ravens logo under possible buyers is that they might be projected as buying low. What does buying low mean? We know how the Ravens do business typically. A lot of bargain shopping, particularly in recent years at the outside linebacker position, due to not being able to hit consistently at that specific position group in the draft. That certainly has been exposed over the years. There's still some players like Mike Green that can say otherwise. But we know that that's been an area that they've missed on more that they've hit. But I get the sense that they're probably going to do business economically. They're probably going to do business carefully. And we know they've already done some business in the form of dealing Jair Alexander to Philadelphia and dealing Odafe Owe to the Chargers amidst the contract year in exchange for a starting safety, Alohi Gilman, which has obviously paid early dividends through a very small sample size, knowing that he's brought some stability, some calmness, some continuity, and some veteran experience to Zach Orr's secondary, which has unlocked Kyle Hamilton to do what he does best. And I think we need to give credit where credit is due. I know a lot of you are probably, I'm not looking right now, but I'm sure the live chat immediately goes to he's got to become a more polished tackle. He's got to wrap up Devon Achane and Jalen Waddle and other missed tackles that led to big gains early on in that first half against the Miami Dolphins on Thursday night when really they were moving the ball with ease. And I get it. I do get that. But at the same time, he's been a patrol officer on the back end, man. And they need that stability. They need that veteran voice. And I don't think we should downplay the significance of so far against inferior competition, at least from a Chicago and Miami standpoint. And I know the Bears are just hung 47 points on an AFC North opponent, but that AFC North opponent has made the Ravens defense look championship caliber so far this year. The Bengals defense is atrocious. And literally, Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, I mean, they're not even mincing words anymore about how distraught they are with what's happening on the other side of the football. With all of that said, the Ravens are going in the right direction, but they need more. Will it be needle moving like it was in 2022, going to acquire Roquan Smith? Will it be needle moving like it was in 2019, going to acquire Marcus Peters? Will it be more quiet the way it was a year ago with Tre'Davious White? Deontay Johnson, we know that one was short-lived. What will it be? I don't know. But the fact that Jair Alexander was dealt over the weekend, first of all, I think was pretty obvious if you've been following along with it. Did not come as a surprise to me. The Ravens traded Jair, who they brought in free agency, and a 2027 seventh to Philadelphia in exchange for a 2026 sixth. Jair was on the outside looking in from a playing time rotation standpoint. Jair didn't look like himself in 30% of the snap count share week 1 against the Bills. Jair had his knee drained at the start of training camp and a PCL procedure not long after he was let go, or they couldn't come to a restructured contract agreement in Green Bay. So it's a win-win. Philadelphia gets a player that they feel like can help them, or at least gives them depth as they try to repeat. The Ravens get to fluff up their salary cap by $2 million. They get a 6th rounder, which they did not have up until this weekend in April of 2026. And they obviously get an open roster spot they'll have to make a decision on. Perhaps Keandre Jackson, who's been a really good special teamer for them in a game day practice squad elevation. Perhaps he gets the call in the coming weeks. So I'm not going to sit here and dog walk the Ravens for what took place with the Jair Alexander deal. The writing was on the wall, and now it's up to Eric DeCosta and company over the next 24 hours, almost 23 hours and counting, to go use the draft capital that they now have at their disposal and have had at their disposal, and roughly $15 million in salary cap space. What are you going to do? The trenches need help, whether it's Kevin Zeitler in Tennessee, Calais Campbell in Arizona. Perhaps he wants to finish his career at a place where he can chase a championship, that elusive championship. And defensively, obviously, from an interior standpoint, edge rusher, they are thinner than thin. Who's it going to be? What are they willing to part with? And will they buy low? Mac 4, will they buy low, my friend? Let's bring you in here. Appreciate you guys for being with me today. The guest lines are officially open. Who's the one player that you'd be willing to part ways with? And who's the one player you're targeting around the league? Mac 4, welcome back to the program, my friend. I hope you're doing well. It's great to see you.
I'm home. I'm home.
And that is all that matters. That is music to my ears. Mac 4 is home. God bless you. How are you feeling?
I'm good. I hope you ain't holding it against me for saying they was gonna win by 4. I didn't say the points or touchdowns now.
You did not, but well said. Well done by you. We'll give you the benefit of doubt on that one. We all thought it was going to be a little bit more competitive than it ended up being.
You right. I'm glad to see that whatever his name is, Xer, whatever his name was. Once I seen what he did with Buffalo when we played Buffalo, I was done with him then. I wanted him gone.
Jair Alexander, who you're referring to, and it was clear that it was a player at the time, and we're going back 2 months now to the start of the season, that was not physically ready. They gave him 30% of the defensive snap share. He's not a special teamer. He's on, I would think, approaching the back 9, if not already on the back 9 of his career. He was on the outside looking in. Nate Wiggins was in front of him. Marlon was in front of him. Cheeto was in front of him. Heck, TJ Tampa might have been in front of him. So this was obvious. And as I just said a second ago, to me, it was like I didn't even do a live show on it over the weekend because I thought it was that insignificant. They get $2 million back in cap space. They get a day 3 pick that they didn't have otherwise going into April next year. Perhaps they use that in the next 24 hours to their advantage. And ultimately now they get to use, he was occupying a game day roster spot on the 53-man. So those three things right there make me feel like it's like, okay, great. Like there was no detriment to it,
I got 2 quick questions, and I know you. I know how you the time. Question not statement. Only reason why he was on the team is because he was one of Lamar's guys.
You know what? Look, that's happened in the past with him, right? He's had direct influence. Obviously, we all remember during the contract stuff, and one of the main reasons why Odell got a chance to come to Baltimore and was completely overpaid while doing so. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a Lamar thing. They're former Louisville teammates.
All right.
I don't think that's an exaggeration.
And lastly, to be honest, Justin Hill, I could see them moving him because Mitchell, he got that speed.
He's got tremendous speed. He clearly, it's been a lack of volume thing. He's been inactive at times this year. They've obviously used him over the last couple of weeks. Good things have happened, whether it be through special teams or as a running back. All the different misdirection, jet sweep stuff. He's eye candy, if nothing else. He's a lot more than that.
Doghouse, bro.
He's a lot more than that.
He's in Harbaugh's doghouse. But
look, they've realized in recent weeks you better take him out of there if you want to go compete for this AFC North and keep yourself in it over the next couple months.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time out and tuning me in. I'm home, and thank everybody for the prayers. All right.
Welcome home, my man. Appreciate you.
All right.
Mac 4, Covington, Georgia's finest. Drew, you ready to chime in, my friend? Appreciate you guys for being with me on a trade deadline special. Tuesday the 4th at 4 p.m. Eastern is when the deadline looms. It's tomorrow, and there's going to be a lot of activity, you would think, around the league. Will the Ravens contribute to said activity? And if they will, who's the player? Who's the player, Drew? Who you willing to be parting ways with? Welcome back to the program, my friend. Appreciate the call. You are live with me right now.
What's up, baby? Just getting off work. One player that I would be willing to part ways with, but not, I hate to say it, but I know a team out there needs a running back. My boy Keaton Mitchell. Ooh, but would you think we would be able to get some value for Keaton?
Wow. Okay, so hold on. So Derrick Henry's under contract, obviously, for the next couple of years. He's coming off a tremendous year, obviously. Flirted with the 2,000. If they weren't conservative with him in the beginning, he would have hit 2,000. And let's be honest, this year's been more about the quarterback issues, the injuries, and a shit offensive line at times. Right? So I'm not in the camp at all that Derrick's even flirting at all with a cliff, meaning he's going to be here for the foreseeable future unless they have a change of heart. Justice is also under contract for the foreseeable future, I believe. I think he was extended within the last year or two, if memory serves. And Keaton is in the middle of his rookie window. My question to you before I answer, because I'm processing it still in terms of whether or not I'd be willing to part ways with him. Are you for real? That element of speed, that element of misdirection, what he does in the screen game. Yes, he brings in deficiencies from a blitz picking up standpoint. And there really hasn't been any ball security issues. But and thank you, Evan, for a 1-year deal for Justice. I thought he was extended for longer than that. I got to check the contract in a second here. But Drew, the lightning to Derrick's thunder, you willing to part ways with that?
Sometimes you gotta go hard or go home, Bobby. And to get something big to make a pop, you gotta get rid of somebody that you really, really don't want to really get rid of.
Hey, he might be a coveted
You think
piece.
would
You still with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead. You broke up there for a second. Go ahead.
What do you think it would take to get my Chubb from Miami?
I knew I had a hunch on this. Evan steered me wrong. You never steered me wrong, Evan. He's under contract for the next several years. He'll hit unrestricted free agency in 2027. That is Justice Hill, just so we're clear on that. So, look, from a Keaton standpoint, one, I don't know how much you get in return. But I just love the element of speed that he brings to this offense. I'm telling you, he brings a certain level of speed that is hard to replace.
Yeah,
And
you're right.
And he was a diamond in the rough. He was an undrafted rookie. They took a chance on him. They've obviously underutilized him. We all know that. He's built himself back up from a significant ACL tear, which he'll be 2 years removed from in December. So I don't know. I don't know if I'd be willing to part ways with him, to be honest with you. I think he brings a level of I'd be more willing to think
Rashid
about
Ali.
Mark Andrews. I'd be more receptive to Mark.
Okay.
You?
I was gonna say Mark, but that's all. He already up on the board as they might trade him. So I
He's
had
up
to. I
on
had
the
to back.
board. It's funny. What was it the other day? Who was calling the broadcast? Was it Kirk and Al? Kirk and Al were almost mocking the idea of Mark Andrews being a trade
Yeah,
candidate.
I remember that.
And I found it funny because I was like, well, wait a second here. I know he probably wants to be a lifelong Raven. He's a future Ring of Honor member. I don't know.
But it was weird. But it was weird to me because it was kind of like he was being featured that game, like they were trying to show him off.
How about it? 2 touchdowns, and he had what, 2 the previous however many weeks?
Like, this is what we got. You want
Mm-hmm.
him?
Hey, and
That's
Drew,
how I felt.
Drew, you probably remember in the offseason, too. It was pretty obvious that Eric was shopping him without actually shopping him or saying they were shopping him in the offseason. So,
And I would hate to give up Mark and or Keaton. So
both would be tough pill to swallow unless you're bringing in, a game changer.
and we got mad draft picks.
Yeah.
So you can Keaton in some draft picks for Chubb. I need Chubb. We need Chubb.
All right, Drew. Appreciate you, man. Later.
Bless.
I tell you what, major media says nobody wants Andrews. I push back on that significantly. You don't think Mark Andrews would be coveted out there? Okay, did anybody want Mark Andrews enough to go get him in the offseason? No, but we have no idea what the Ravens were asking for in return. I can count double-digit teams that want and need Mark Andrews. This is just a matter of what the Ravens would be looking to get in return. And I'm sure it's a lot they'd be asking for in return. This is a player that I don't want to hear about the lack of statistical production. This is a player that is still playing at a high level, blocks his ass off, and as long as he's on the football field, you got to account for him. So don't give me any of that nobody wants him. Matty Boom says, what's up, Bobby? Reports say that the Jets are looking for a second for Quinnen. I thought it was a first. Where are you seeing that? Besides Rodgers, our second-round picks haven't been good since 2018. Yeah, second-round picks. Oh, Roger Rosengarten. Okay, but he's regressing this year though. But you're correct. Second round in recent history has not been kind to the Ravens at all. I have not seen a second though. Did I see as much as a first? Or am I confusing him with Hendrickson? Because Diana Rossini was reporting earlier today that the Bengals would be asking for a first-round pick for Trey Hendrickson. Just for throwing that out there for shits and giggles. TBK says, want to make a pop, get rid of Andrews. Love him, but it's time. Likely has that touchdown spot locked down. Keaton is the future of the running back room. I think he could be a piece. He's not going to be your bell cow, though. I think he could absolutely be a future piece, no question. But I want him being a complementary piece to a backfield that has a bruiser in it at all times as well. We'll see how much longer Derrick Henry will play. Again, he's under contract for the next couple of years after they extended him this offseason. Back to the guest lines. Everybody wants to weigh in today. You mother effers. Ashley says, Bobby's got Rodgers on his mind as usual. You guys are so unfair to me when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. Can I be clear on that? I say for one time in the offseason that I like Aaron Rodgers. I like how much of an enigma he is. I think he's one of the all-time greats. I think people are undervaluing what he's going to bring to Pittsburgh, and look at where he's got him right now. Right? That's all I said. And so not like I'm getting on my knees for A-Rod. I'm not sitting over here singing his praises in all aspects of life. Bullshit. I call bullshit on that. That's what I call. Over 1,000 of you concurrently joining me this afternoon. I appreciate you guys for being with me. Oh, and of course, Don Royale is in the live chat. Don, I ought to dog walk the hell out of you at some point. You call your ass in here. I got a hefty ass waiting room right now, and I'd skip you right to the front. Walk you up and down right now. Why don't you give me a call in? We're going to Andrew G first, though. EB's here. Nutty's in the house. Rave's sitting here looking like he's ready to twist some heads around. Tyler's here. What's going on? Ithaca's finest, Andrew G.
What's up, Bobby? How are you, man?
Good to see you, man.
Personally, for me, I think Andrews is too valuable to this offense to let him go, especially on 4th and short with tush push. They're just using him. They're using him too much. But maybe the Packers take a crack at him because Tucker Kraft just tore his ACL. That could be something that I could see if the Packers are considering a playoff spot.
Jacksonville needs it too.
Yeah. The one surprising move that I think, if teams are looking at a backup QB, I think Cooper Rush could get traded. That'd be like my dream scenario. If J.J. McCarthy didn't look too good, I could see the Vikings trying to trade for Cooper Rush. That'd be my ideal guy to trade.
Who did they end up bringing in last week? Did they bring in anybody last week?
I don't
think they did, right? Because they knew that JJ was going to come back, which he did. And while the statistics weren't he made the game-winning plays that he needed to make, including to Jalen Noel, right? Under 2 minutes. That was a beautiful touch pass there by Max Brosmer. There is their QB2 right now. Wentz is on IR. Shit, they're hoping that they're putting a lot of stock in JJ staying healthy. But okay, so Cooper, because Cooper's occupying a roster spot.
Yeah.
So I see where you're going with that. I also see where you're going with Mark. I'm listening right now to the. If I'm Eric, maybe he was this offseason. I'm listening. I'm listening hard for Andrew's proposals.
And then classic Ravens move, I think they go my dream scenario is Quinnen Williams, but I don't think that's going to happen. They need interior, even with Broderick Washington's getting surgery. We're not sure how long he's going to be out for, and with Matabike's injury status up for consideration. I would love Quinnen Williams. I don't know if they look at getting another corner like Rick Woolen for the future, because outside of Wiggins and Marlon, you don't really have any starters under contract for the cornerback position for next year. But my ideal scenario would be Quinnen Williams.
Someone just chimed in about Quinnen, and it made me, you know what? I want to bring this one in from Connor Hughes right now because people were talking about a second, and Connor Hughes is a Jets reporter, and I just looked this up from a week or two ago that he was talking about what his feeling was from a Jets front office perspective. So, Andrew, I'm going to let you go and let this play, and it's great talking to you, man. Thanks for the call.
Nice to talk to you, Bobby.
Appreciate it. Quinnen Williams, just under that conversation, because I know that could be somewhat of a luxury, lofty type of vision. But Connor Hughes is a Jets reporter. He had this to say on the topic of his trade candidacy just a couple weeks ago.
You mentioned Quinnen Williams. I thought the same thing. First round pick, plus 1 and a 3, 1 and a 4. I was told by somebody very tied into this situation that the Jets probably looking at a 2 for him. And the reasoning for that is there's no real substantial guaranteed money left on his deal after this year. Teams know there are rumblings around there that Quinnen Williams is currently unhappy. That's the perception outside of Florham Park. We haven't talked to Quinnen to ask him if he's unhappy. He 100% would not tell the media the truth if he's unhappy or not. But the perception out there is Quinnen's not necessarily happy. The Jets, it's known that the Jets have rebuffed his desires to have his contract restructured and adjusted and more guaranteed money added. So if he's going to be traded, it's because Quinnen wants out and the guaranteed money isn't necessarily there as they would expect. I don't know if I still trade him for a two-man. He's so good. Like, Quinnen's really, really good. And if you move him, that sends, I think, a terrible message to the locker room. I really do. And I was on board of, hey, watch him to be moved, watch him to the Cowboys, watch him something like that. But if it's only a two, that's a hard sell to the locker room.
Interesting. Okay, again, this is going back to October 22nd, just to be clear on that. And Connor felt like it was going to be a two. Well, the Jets season's going nowhere fast. We all know that. Perhaps the Jets would be receptive to what the Ravens might be inquiring about. It's a heck of a scenario. Quinnen is, I think, a lofty vision, perhaps in the luxury category. And I don't know how unrealistic or realistic it would be. The Ravens have parted ways with a second rounder before. Perhaps they'd be willing to do it again. We know that they desperately need help in the trenches. And if I had to choose between the two, which side of the ball, I'm going defense every day of the week and twice on Sunday. That doesn't mean that I don't feel like they can't upgrade at right guard, because they can. And the Kevin Zeitlers of the world are out there. I don't know if they're out there for the taking. I don't know if Tennessee would be a receptive partner. Here's what's going on elsewhere along the lines of offensive lineman. Jordan Schultz notes earlier today, the Commanders have been open to trading several players, including offensive lineman Andrew Wiley and Nick Allegretti, both of whom bring extensive starting and playoff experience. Jordan says Wiley has valuable position flexibility, having played both guard spots and right tackle during his career. So just throwing that out there. We learned earlier today that Jalen Phillips is heading to the Philadelphia Eagles. Howie Roseman continues to cook. There is an injury history that gave me personally pause on this. I think there's also an inflated price tag given the deadline that is tomorrow with Jalen, but it is somebody that could very well work out in Philly's favor as they try to repeat as Super Bowl champions. Miami did, their edge rusher that the Ravens just saw on Thursday night, to the Eagles in exchange for a 2026 third-round pick. It's the third trade the Eagles have made in the past week alone. Jair Alexander being one of those, Jalen Phillips being another, and of course, cornerback Michael Carter being the third. Jalen's in the last year of his contract. He's scheduled to become a free agent this winter. Again, he's struggled to remain healthy over his years, which would have given and does give me pause from a Ravens perspective. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Back to the guest lines we go. Nutty, you with me? Let's bring you on here. Talk about the deadline. I want to call these out first and foremost, though. This is hysterical. Dre Scales says, any trade is possible? That's straight clickbait. You thirsty for viewing, bro? Really? No, you're thirsty for content. That's why your sorry ass clicked in here. Great to have you, Dre, with me. Nutty, talk to me. You're live on the program, baby. Get me out of trouble.
Man, hey, relax over there, man. He don't know who you talking to. Relax, man.
Hey, get me out of trouble before I say something I shouldn't, because that's been on my mind lately. Who's the one player that you're willing to part ways with? And is there somebody out there that intrigues you in terms of candidates?
Besides the obvious Mark Andrews, because I can see an immediate replacement for him. Besides Mark Andrews, I would have to say Rashad Bateman.
I get behind that. I get behind that. I don't think he's particularly happy here.
Nah. You can see it in his play. He doesn't want to be here. You can see it constantly every game. Like every throw, he's like, you know.
Oh, by the way, you know what that makes me think about?
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is nothing certain. This is nothing personal against Bate. I tend to think that he's on the other end of some of this anonymous stuff.
Oh yeah,
in recent weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
But I have reason to believe that he was chatting a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he probably wants to go somewhere where he can be used.
Yeah, definitely.
And not that he hasn't been used here. I mean, he had a career year last year. He had a tremendous year for them.
He was unguardable last year. If the ball would have went his way several more times, he could have had at least 1,200 yards.
Yeah. Look, if they can get value for him, no doubt, add him to the list.
You know, I was thinking, but the trade seems like it would never happen. You know that guard we had Zeitler that went over there to Titans?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind trading for him and that tight end if we get rid of Mark Andrews.
Well, look, with Kevin, let's be honest here. It's hard to replace.
He wasn't nothing special, let's say that. But he's a big improvement over for Lele.
It's really hard to replace a Hall of Famer in Marshall Yanda. They've had a really hard time doing that since 2019 when he retired at his best, by the way. He's one of those players that retired at his best. I think we can all agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kevin Zeitler was as much of a plug-and-play, durable starter, team guy, like eat your face off in the trenches player that they also have not successfully replaced since he left. And they let him walk in free agency for a very economical number to go to Detroit.
And he stated that he wanted to stay too.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that. Where did he say that?
I can dig in the archives and find it for you. I will send it to you.
Send that to me. I might just be on my trade mush brain right now. By the way, Chargers just announced that Joe Alt, their stud tackle, he's going to undergo surgery and miss the rest of the season. That's a big deal for Justin Herbert's blind side. It's a big deal for the Chargers offense. That just came down the timeline. But finish your thought there, Nutty. And by the way, what is Nutty Bam the General?
Oh, man. Just my little street moniker, man. Just the general, man.
What would my street name be on your street?
Oh, man. Bobby the Great. Bobby the Great.
I love it.
Oh, man. It's just, Mark Andrews, I mean, he means a lot to Lamar. You can see it in his play, but he's replaceable, man. All these people is replaceable, man. We hold on to these guys who are John Harbaugh's guys, and it's like it gets played out. Like we trade our dogs. That we got rid of Jair, we got rid of CJ, we got rid of these dogs to all these yes men. So you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know any better way to say it.
What do you mean by that? I feel like that might get a little bit too much run in the Twitter space. What do you mean by that?
What I mean is so. Clear as day. You see how Marlon is playing. You see him when he was healthy. You see how he's played. Marlon gets beat constantly. Constantly gets beat. We put Martin in, number 38, I believe he played. Number 38, Martin's, right?
Keon, he's a dog.
He's a dog.
Undrafted dog at that.
So, in my view of what I see, he is suited better to play the nickel position than Marlon. Granted, when he first got in, he gave up a couple plays for undrafted rookie. I understand. But he played with so much effort that I don't see out of Marlon Humphrey. Yet again, we get guys and we keep guys. I'm not saying Marlon shouldn't start, but certain players you see starting, and it's like, man, how are they starting? They wouldn't even be able to start on another team, but they're John Harbaugh's guys. You know, like, I don't know how to explain it. I know it's nepotism, if you ask me. I said it. There you go. I said it. Nah, but it's something going on behind that scene. I can't put my finger on it per se, but it's no way Ben Cleveland gets no chance at all at right guard. I go back and watch the films. Falele pulling is missing everything but the air. Like I don't understand it. This guy is lost on the field.
Buddy, appreciate your call, man. Thank you.
No problem.
Later, man. Look, I think Marlon catches a few too many strays at times. I'm not downplaying what the Ravens have gotten from time to time on Keon Martin, but listen, you're going to ride and die with Marlon Humphrey. The dude's been playing banged up. The dude is as physical as it gets. I think he's the least of their concerns when you look at the entire list, priority-wise, deficiency-wise, as a defense. It starts up front. It starts and ends up front. I can't jump on the Marlon bandwagon. I can't do it. Keon's had some good plays, but look, that's like saying that let's just go make Keandre Jackson the starting safety. It's no disrespect to these guys, but Just think that's a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction there. Emo says, looks like Chargers and Ravens both won the trades, but always looking like a beast. Holy crap. Adafe has enjoyed his facelift, if you will, his new change of scenery. He's gotten to, and Sarah and I had this conversation earlier, and look, I thought about it. So first of all, over the weekend, Adafe had 2 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 4 pressures for the Chargers in a win. He's playing well for them. 4 weeks ago, he's got 12 pressures, 4 sacks, 1 quarterback hit, has the 8th highest pass rush win rate among qualified edge rushers. So he's playing well. Adafe is. And it wasn't like he wasn't bringing the pressure at times in Baltimore. He just wasn't finishing. And so Sarah asked me, like, hey, what do you make of this? And I think it's fair to say that the Ravens, I think there was a level of underdevelopment in Baltimore. Do I think that he reached his ceiling as a Raven? Not a chance. This dude is as physically gifted as it gets. He also had his fair shot in Baltimore. He had a lot of chances. Maybe not the first 5 weeks. Mike Green was out snapping him towards the end. But you were always left wanting more with 99. And now you're seeing so far, and I get it, Khalil Mack has been banged up for parts of this season. Reality is, when you're playing on the same defensive line as Khalil Mack, you're going to get some chances to eat. And Adafe had his fair share of chances of eating. We saw it last year en route to his first double-digit sack campaign. I think that was an inflated number. But I just can't sit here and immediately be like, oh my God, like Adafe. Look at Adafe, man. Look at him. Like some are already saying, like, the Ravens completely lost this trade. How can you say that? How is it immediately like you're already noting it as a lost trade for the Ravens? I do think so far through a very small sample size that this is a win-win for both teams. I get it, although he's got to clean up some of the polish or lack thereof. But look at what this defense has done. If you take the total yardage out, and I get it, first and foremost, it should be about evaluating output. How many points do you give up? And then we can talk about yardage, missed tackles, so on and so forth. Bottom line is the Ravens have took a step in the right direction in terms of output, defensive scoring. They got to get that yardage number down as a result. And we'll see if they continue in that direction against Addison and Jefferson and JJ and everything else, Aaron Jones, that's going to be coming their way when they travel to Minnesota on Sunday. But I can't sit here and be like, this is who specifically, unequivocally has won the trade. We won't know yet. You won't know. Joseph Cook is barking in the live chat, and he's gotten my attention. Congratulations, Joseph. Quan will get to you in just a second. Adam, Gerardo, Tyler, EB, I see you guys down there. We're mixing it up tonight. Everybody's got something to say. I love it. Keep bringing it. Emos writes, because the host may be repeating itself. What does this mean? Admonish? Judon? I have no idea what any of that means. Let me know, Emos. Deadman Inc. says, do you think Keaton would even re-sign and risk being on the bench again? Isn't he on his last year of the contract? Where is Keaton's contract? Let's do that live right now. Keaton, very modest deal, as most undrafted rookies start their careers off with. Let's see. He is set to hit restricted free agency next year, this upcoming offseason. Yeah, I mean, look, Justice is here for the foreseeable future. Derrick Henry's here for the foreseeable future. But sometimes it's like, well, what's the market going to be out there for an undrafted rookie? And that's not taking anything away from Keaton Mitchell. Alaskan man says, Bobby, you know nothing, bud. LOL. Sorry. Alaskan, I know that you're perfectly capable of pulling up the live chat access discount, Kent, right now and calling in. I'm going to let you know right now, and I'm going to tell you to your face. Bud. Quan, welcome to the program, brother. Great to have you.
What's up with you, Bobby?
Good to see you, man.
Chilling. Hey, bro, it's Mark time. Is Mark time to go? Is Justice Hill time to go? I think is. I love Tylen Wallace, and I know he brings something to the special teams. I think it's his time to go. I think we just got people that's just being held back right now. When I look at Tez Walker, when I look at Keaton, bro, for some reason they remind me of Gibbs and Jamison Williams with what they can do with their speed if they being utilized. If they being utilized, you know what I'm saying? And then Tez Walker is 6'3". Not only is he your tallest receiver who can high point, but he's your fastest receiver. He's not activated. I know he was dealing with an injury, but I'm telling you, bro, he needs to be on the field more than Tylen Wallace, more than I'm gonna say even D-Hop sometimes, even more than D-Hop. But Keaton for sure definitely needs to be primarily, like, he needs to be the number 2 back for sure. I think he brings way more to the offense than Justice Hill. I understand the blocking, but I don't think we even gave Keaton that many opportunities to even be like, his blocking been that kind of bad. I don't think he has that many opportunities, to judge his blocking.
All right, hold on a second here. So we're going to get into this conversation. I'm looking up the snap count from Thursday against Miami. Tylen Wallace logged 9 offensive snaps for 16% of the share.
Mm-hmm.
Keaton Mitchell had 10 for 18% of the share. DeAndre had 18 for 32%. Bateman had 48 for 71%. Where the hell you want Tez in here? This is what I'm at. Here's the deal. Like, what is motivating you to stand on a table for Devontae Walker right now?
You like to go deep, right? You want to spread the defense. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't know how many targets that we had downfield this year that actually, connected other than D-Hop with the 50-50 balls. But I'm talking like actually being efficient. Hold on, Jace. Like actually being efficient downfield. And my thing is he's sneaky. Nobody really knows about him yet. You get what I'm saying? So somebody that can actually stretch the field we don't have any wide receiver on this offense that can stretch the field like Tez Walker. So we be limiting ourselves by having him on the bench.
He's not out snapping Bateman. He's not out snapping Zay. He's not out snapping.
No. I don't think he deserves to out snap them, but I think he does deserve more than what he has been getting.
I got you. Look, pencil him in. I'm telling you this right now. Pencil him in to be wide receiver 3 beginning in 26. From then on,
I love that. And one more thing. All right. With Mark Andrews, my thing is, how many rings does Patrick Mahomes have if Travis Kelce keep putting up 30 yards in the playoff?
You're calling out Mark's underperformance in the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, it's been how many years? We in year 8?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what are we banking on hope, or it's like we already seen the product?
You can go across the board though in terms of underperformance. I know Mark has struggled. He's you look at the statistics. He's really struggled in January compared to his regular season output. I get that. But I just look. It's such a small sample size though when you think about some of those deficiencies and the drops, and obviously the key fumble, and we all know the drop of all drops. But I'm just not willing to again, hey, I'm receptive. If what's on the return on the other end of a Mark acquisition in the next 24 hours, I'm the first to listen. I want to listen.
Yeah.
But if they're not dealing him, I'm all the way in on I'm not going to sit here and be like, and Sarah and I had a big argument about this, obviously in the offseason. I refuse to live in this world of going elsewhere and shying away from using him in do or die moments in the postseason. It's too small of a sample size for me.
Okay.
And I get it. It's hard. It's hard to swallow what happened in that divisional round.
No, but I wanted him going before that even happened. I wanted him going last year because I knew I know what likely is capable of. You get what I'm saying? So that was my whole thing. Like, I think he even brings like likely got that dog mentality. I know Mark Andrews, he get hyped when he catch the ball, but it's just I don't know. I think likely wear that emotion on his sleeve, like way more than Mark does. So
Hey, Isaiah struggled with not only target share, mostly because of Lamar being down, but people forget it. He's not all that removed from the fractured foot procedure.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So that's a
this
part
still
of it
his
too.
wrap up period to me. I'll give him probably even another week, but I'm saying like later than I think he's gonna come on stronger, probably within like the last 5 weeks of the season.
We're about to find out, my man. Appreciate you. And everybody wants to know what the hell's the green screen all about. What are you doing?
Oh shit. Oh damn. Oh, my bad. I be playing the games and stuff in here, yo. I be streaming. So anybody want that smoking Warzone, let me know. That's my boy.
Hey,
Jay.
what's up, young man?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, dude? What's going on?
All
All
right, thanks,
fellas,
Bobby.
you enjoy yourselves. Yep.
Right, you too, bro.
Later now. Mark Andrews seems to be at the epicenter of these discussions, and discussions roll on. Well over 1,300 with me. The waiting room is cooking right now. EB's here, Gerardo's here, Tyler's here, King Judah's in the house, and Emos hits me with another super chat. And Emos writes, "My bad, Bobby. The Ravens have a history of producing underperforming defensive ends. Just go somewhere else and shine. Smith, Judon." Well, wait a second now. They developed Judon, and they chose not to pay Judon. And New England paid him a lot. Let's be clear on that. They drafted both of these guys, homegrown Ravens, that went on to get lucrative contracts elsewhere. And then Za'Darius burned them years later, right? Wasn't it a couple years ago where there were thoughts and even some initial reports that something was in place and then he pulled out last minute? That was kind of bullshit. Appreciate you, Emos. Who else is barking in the live chat? Anybody want some smoke right now? Jason says, "What's up, Bobby? I met you last summer in Fells Point. Was I coherent for that conversation?" Gerardo with an generational facial hair look that makes me jealous. My fair, pudgy ass. Pudgy's not the right word. Peach fuzz ass. I'm very jealous bringing you on right now, Gerardo. How often does peanut butter get stuck in that sucker?
No, I gotta touch it up, clean it up though.
All right, you're looking clean. Great to have you on.
So I was just going to talk about the trades. I think that Ben Cleveland being in John's doghouse and the 6 we got from Philly should go to Titans for Kevin Zeitler, and then get Quinn Williams or Johnson or McDonald for a second, a third, and 1 and 2 fifths they have.
Hold on now, though. You're going to give up Ben, serviceable offensive lineman who's depth, and the 6th for Zeitler?
You got to make him want to trade Kevin Zeitler.
I don't think you're going to want Tennessee to do anything. Tennessee doesn't want to give shit to Baltimore. That's the problem.
That's true. But I would try make it want to give him. I mean, I would trade Falalele if they wanted him. But who's going to want a guard that can't guard?
Okay, give me the Quinnen thing because I didn't hear it. Give me the Quinn.
Okay, Quinn, I would go. Quinn, it would be a package deal. Quinn or one of the 2 DNs, which is Johnson or McDonald. So it's a package deal. Quinn Williams, Jermaine Johnson, or Will McDonald, either or, for a second, a third, and 2 fifths.
You want all 3 of them?
No, I said either or. Jermaine Johnson
2 of the
or
3. 2 of the 3.
Yeah, 2 or 3. You got to make it happen. Scare money, make no money, Bobby.
Something tells me this is not going to be blockbuster the way that it was with Roquan, the way that it was with Marcus, right? I think this is going to be buying low. I think Eric DeCosta and company are going to wait to see.
I hear you.
Look out for tomorrow there to be a few more blockbusters. I'm not saying Jalen Phillips is blockbuster, but it's certainly notable. I think there's going to be a few more of those, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Ravens kind of swoop in at the very end, buying low, right? Getting a player or 2, maybe a guard, right? Go ahead.
But you're buying low, but how much is that going to be a needle mover? Well, you got to, at this point, you got to be a needle mover to make it happen.
You know how they do
because you're going to go against. If this plays out and you get to the playoffs, you're going to go against Cook. Who's going to stop Cook from the Bills?
Nobody that's currently on the roster. Maybe Carl Lawson will get after it, but
that's all I got. I mean, everybody wants to move on Mark. I get it, but he's worked. He's got to the playoffs. We got to the playoffs after. Let him walk. Get your comp pick.
Thanks for the call, brother.
No problem. Thank you.
Later, man. Appreciate it. Shimmy boy. What's up, Shimmy boy? Is that Chef Curry Shimmy? He says Cesar Ruiz an option. Saints have salary cap issues. Saints have a lot of issues. And I wonder if Eric DaCosta has already picked up the phone to inquire with their front office. Appreciate you, Shimmy. I know EB's got a lot on his mind, I would think. And speaking of facial hair, look at this guy. He's looking clean. He probably still wants Harbaugh gone. I'd have to think he's going to come on. Let me know that he's still standing tall on Harbaugh being gone. Let me know that the Ravens are about to rip off 9 in a row. And what else are you going to let me know about today, EB? If you're in that Ravens front office, and thank you all for being here today, by the way, well over 1,300 concurrents. I will say, as much as I love all you guys, I'm happy. I'm relieved that some of you aren't in Eric DaCosta's position, to be quite frank with you. EB, if you were in EDC's position, how you spending the next 24 hours, bad boy?
I'm taking all the swings at this point. I mean, Bishotti did say he wants to win now. So, I mean, if you want to win now, you definitely have the personnel and you definitely have the resources. I mean, you already heard my trade picks. Now, for Zeitler, I probably would be thinking of getting rid of one of my offensive linemen and one of my 5th round and 6th round picks just to get Zeitler in here. Yes, because we need it. Because la 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 la, it's not the answer. Never was, never will be. By playoff time, if Voorhees don't get it together, I got Emory Jones replacing him. I'm still standing strong on that. We should go after Dexter Lawrence. I'm hearing too much about Quentin Williams, and the Ravens have a history of going after players that's not really talked about because so many teams are pretty much, it's a competition at the end of the day. And, the Ravens is not really prone to competing against teams for a certain player. But Dexter Lawrence, I give up a 2nd and a 4th. And Bradley Chubbs, I would give up Charlie Kolar and a 5th round pick. As a matter of fact, I even throw another player who I'm really not a fan of, and that's Tylan Wallace.
And what makes you think they'd bite at that?
I mean, Charlie Kolar, he's coming along. He's definitely coming along. He's a great blocker, and he's definitely a low-key he's definitely a low-key receiver, in my opinion, anyway, when you set him up right. Wallace is versatile. He's a receiver. He plays special teams.
Nobody's trading for him, bro. I love that man. Nobody's trading for him.
I'm not a big fan, but yeah.
What do you mean? Wait a second now. Hold on.
I've never, and see, that's Harb's guy, and I'm gonna keep standing on his ass needs to go too, but that's Harb's guy. I've never been a fan of Tylan Wallace. When we had James Prochet and got rid of Prochet, I feel like him and Wallace. Yeah.
EB, hold on.
Well, talk to me, Bobby. What am I missing here?
Yeah, you stand by for a second, will you? All right. Make sure you're sitting down for this one. All right. Make sure your ass is sitting down for this one. Tylan's a day 3 pick, Oklahoma State. All of a sudden, day 3 wide receivers, you flip a coin. Okay, for starters, you flip a coin. Second, the guy's a hell of a special teamer. Okay, he's a gunner. He's a return specialist when need be. Yes, he had issues with ball tracking and ball security last year. They did not go. They went to him, and he lost that job. Okay, that was one of his shortcomings last year. He's won you a game in walk-off fashion against the Rams a couple years ago. And while it's a very small sample size, by the way, somewhere Manny's out here shaking in his boots because I'm winning that fucking bet. And I can't wait to remind him of that Tylan Wallace bet that we made earlier in the year. It's the easiest $10 or whatever the hell it was that I've made in quite some time. He can just Venmo me now, by the way. Manny, You can Venmo me now. But listen, Thailand has done everything asked of him. If you're looking for more from Thailand and you want to knock the guy because you don't feel like he's exceeded expectations, bro, what were the expectations to begin with? He's a day 3 pick.
I mean, all right, when you put it like that, Bobby, I mean, I guess so, but I'm just saying, I was never really a fan of the guy. That's just me personally, and maybe you don't throw him in a pot for us getting traded, but we definitely have the personnel, we definitely have the resources, but I don't agree to get rid of Bateman and Mark Andrews. To be honest with you, as far as Mark Andrews' future, I don't see him leaving Baltimore. I actually see him retiring. I actually got him taking a back seat behind Likely.
Retiring?
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing tonight? You're off the shit. Hold on a second. Evan just commented on a minute ago. You're not in the truck. You're not delivering right now.
Nope, I'm home. It's
What
an
are you
off
doing
day
right
for
now?
me. I'm
You
home.
getting into that wine tonight?
Yeah, a little bit. And a
That man's
stogie.
whining and dining. Wine and dine that man, EB.
With a stogie. With a nice little stogie on the side. So yeah.
Is that lacing something? Is that stogie lacing something? God damn.
Bobby, you got jokes, man. But listen, everybody is entitled to their opinion. And I feel strongly because Andrews has been in the trade talks a lot. I mean, a whole lot. And I don't doubt it. I don't doubt SOI. And I don't doubt falls the small sample size of him not coming up big in the playoffs when he needed him. Falls were likely. I give him that. He definitely has that clutch gene. But because of the chemistry, not just on the field, but in the locker room, in my opinion, between Mark and Lamar, I just feel like if Andrews walk, it's gonna mess up the chemistry in the locker room. Maybe not majorly, but just a bit. And that's why I'm saying I got Andrews taking a back seat, passing the torch to Likely to being the number one, and him taking a back seat and retiring as a Raven. That's just my honest belief.
I will catch up with you soon, my friend. Enjoy your night off.
All right.
Later, EB. Justin, welcome to the program, brother. Happy trade deadline. Not day yet, but we're on 24 hours. Good to see you, man.
Hey, you too, Bobby. How are you?
Great. Loving the. Oh man, my man's got. Look, I mean, talk about the ink right here. How many different ones we got?
Oh, I'm covered, man. I'm covered.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I got both my sleeves done, both sides of my neck, my chest.
You got a self-driving Tesla right now?
No, I'm in a Sonata.
Okay.
But it'll drive itself too, though. That's a 25.
Drive safely and talk to me what you talk.
Yeah.
Talk to me about where you're at today.
So the game that I keep getting to make it to the playoffs, right? That Detroit game drove me crazy, man. Like we could not stop the run. Every time they handed that ball off, it was like 5, 7, 9, 70, 6, 5. I mean, they were killing us to run. And losing Matabike, and then also Broderick Washington going down with surgery as well. My thing is you got to fix the D-line. And one guy you can get for a run stopper and a pass rusher at the same time is Quinnen Williams. And if I'm EDC, man, if they whatever they want, I'm giving. Besides like everything, you know what I mean? But like if that might be one time, because my thing is Lamar's in his prime right now, right? So, you know, we got to take advantage of Lamar being in his prime right now. All these picks we have that he's always saving and developing players is great, but we're not going to have him forever. So I would call to Jess and be like, hey, we'll give you 2 this year, 3 this year, and a 5th. We got 4 or 5 5ths. You know what I mean? You got to find a way to fix it because we're one injury away on that D line. Like if Jenkins goes down or Urban goes down, one of them boys goes down. We're cooked. We're cooked.
Take a look at the draft compensation. Take a look at. I'm gonna go big screen for this. This was as of prior to the Jair Alexander acquisition. take a look at the Ravens draft order come April. They got obviously round one that'll we'll have to see. We'll have to see how the rest of the season shakes out. They have, let's see here, number 45 overall in the second round. They've got one in the third at 76. They've got 1 fourth rounder at 111. And they've got an onslaught of fifth round picks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the ones, right? To your point, Justin, those are the ones that you got to be willing to package here.
Yeah.
They also now have a sixth because of what the business that they did with Howie Roseman. And then they also have a seventh as well.
Yeah.
So to your point, I'm just adding on, they got a shit ton of draft capital. They've got around $15 million of cap space to play with. Make it happen.
Right. Also, there's this aspect of it too, right? If we trade Andrews, don't they save like $6 million in cap space with that as well? So maybe you can package Andrews, and that'll turn 16 million into what, 22 million, and all of a sudden you got a lot of cap space, right? So if I'm Eric DeCosta, man, I am all over that, man. That dude is a stud. He pushes the pocket from the inside, which is like the best kind of pressure to get. Also, you pair up Quentin Williams with Travis Jones the way he's playing right now, and all of a sudden a leaky run defense turns dominant again. And then, as far as like the pressure goes, they got Kyle around the line and been blitzing him off the edge somewhat. They got that flexibility now with Alohi Gilman in the secondary. So I'm doing everything I can if I'm him to get Quentin Williams, man. Like, because you get that push, you get that goal line defense all of a sudden, you get that third down, push up the middle, and then you're off to the races. And you know what I mean? You got Roquan behind him, so you got Travis Jones and Quentin Williams, and Roquan's gonna be running free because them dudes gonna be taking double teams. It works out beautifully. You know what I mean?
As much as they can get from Carl Lawson. I expect he's going to make his Raven debut on top of all that this upcoming weekend. They got him in, 2 weeks ago now? And obviously he hasn't played regular season football since January, so we'll have to see. But Justin, I know who I'm calling if I'm ever in a dark back alley in Baltimore. I appreciate you, man. And
you got
enjoy
it, brother.
the next 24 hours, all right?
All right, bye. Have a good one, man.
Later. You too. Rave and Julian and Richard, where are you guys at right now? Jewel, 24-hour countdown is on. Who's the player? Who's the player, my man?
Hey, what's going on, Bobby?
Where the hell did you go?
Hold on.
Hold on a second. Rave, get in here. Julian's fucking around. What's going on, Rave?
Hello. How you doing, Bobby?
Good to see you, man. What you got for me?
Yes, sir.
Look at that boy.
Yes, sir. Now listen, I heard it all. The guy that was talking about Tyler Wallace, I'm agree with him 50%, and I'm gonna disagree 50%. I think as a wide receiver, he should be used more. I think every time I've seen him actually get the ball opportunity, they throw it to him, and if he gets open, when he does, and he gets open, like he gets the ball, I think he's a good catcher. This special teams junk is getting on my nerves. The man got one punt return. He broke off, and thank God, hallelujah, he broke off and limped his butt all the way to the touchdown. That was the slowest punt return I've ever seen in history. Thank God he did it for us. We needed him. It was clutch. But y'all talking about he's a special teamer. My God, that man can't do no type of kick return or punt return ever. Tell me, Bobby, and you give me your history because I know you're a smart guy. You tell me, other than that one clutch punt return, what has he ever done on kick return and punt return? I'll wait.
I mentioned. You must have not been listening. I lauded him for his gunner ability.
On Madden, to me, he's so slow. If you was to put that man on Madden, that man is like a 40 speed. That is the slowest punt return and kick return I've ever seen. I hate it every time I see him. Like, bro, get Tyler Wallace all kick return. I think he could be a compatible wide receiver, but special teamer, stop it. Stop putting him back there. We got what's his name? We got Wester. AKA
you know who they got right now?
Jr.?
You know who they got right now as a special teamer? He's not a return specialist, but he's a dog in special teams.
Yep.
Freaking Keandre Jackson. That dude's a beast. First of all, I cannot believe we're having this argument. So get to your main point, please.
Okay, so main point. Okay, main point. And this is kind of why I be getting on Sarah about in the super chats. You be wondering why I get on her. I'm only on her because I asked her a long time ago. I said, hey, can John's ego be more powerful than actually winning games? And she said, now I quote, you was there, Bobby. She said, she said all her things that was giving her optimism that they can make a turnaround and fix things. This is why I'm standing on business and you was backpedaling. This is why you should never backpedal. I'm gonna tell you why. You should never backpedal.
This is such bullshit.
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you why. Bobby. Hold on. I'm saying why you backpedal is because check this out. Then Sarah gave you certain things that could persuade you, right? And she gave you a whole list of things that could persuade you to why you should have optimism. You said, okay. You said, I'll be open to it, right? You said you'll be open to it, but those things has to happen, right? Half of her things didn't even happen yet. There's no O-line change. There's no extra depth we were supposed to get. There's no D lineman, and we got rid of Jair. So, my God, half of her things wasn't even changed. We got Alohi Gilman. Okay, that was something.
What did Jair do to make you feel upset that he's no longer with the organization? What was one thing that he showed you to make you feel that way?
Because during week one, the defense, I think he wasn't 100% still. And not only that, he wasn't 100% to me. I felt like our defense coordinator is just not the guy right now. I think Jair is still good. I think he's going to kill on the Eagles. Because look at Owe. Look at Owe right now. Think about it. Owe hasn't got a single sack in this season. Not a single one. He got it on the first day. Hold on, Bobby. Not like the second day when he's feeling the defense, learning the defense. He got it on the first day. Tell me that, Bobby. How does a person go from trash to good all of a sudden?
Because the Ravens' defensive line blows.
Okay, hold on. I got you, right? I like how you said that. Now, wasn't Matabike in there in week one?
Nnamdi was in there week one.
Was he healthy? Nnamdi was healthy, right?
I get what you're saying. The first couple weeks.
So him doing it with a healthy D-line has been seen, and he still couldn't get a sack. That is a pathetic excuse. I'm sorry.
Dude, he was getting out-snapped by Mike Green.
Yeah, because we all saw the potential of Mike Green. And hold on, Mike Green just finally got his weeks later.
Listen, the points of optimism, okay? You're putting words in my mouth there in terms of leaning into it. I have not leaned in to the points of optimism that were presented to me by Femi and Sarah. I acknowledge them, and they could start in the next couple of weeks. They could start to take shape. But what makes you think that I've leaned into those?
Because when you first started, this is how I know. When you first started talking about how you couldn't go with the optimism, and you said they was cooked, you should replay how stern, how strong you was with your words. You was very strong with your words, and now it's so like, yeah. So you know what? They are looking good. Cut it out. They beat the Dolphins. Hold on. They beat a Dolphins with a quarterback that has CTE. They beat the Rams. They lost to the Rams. The Rams, bro. Because I heard it in what's his name? I heard it in the what's it called? The Vault. The defense did not turn around. Stop it. The Rams, we held by 17. The Rams beat themselves more than anything. When we still lost that game.
This is where you get on your bullshit. This is where you get on your bullshit. This is why, okay? Every time I've addressed this in recent weeks, it's come with a caveat. What do I say? I said the output is trending in the right direction. Rams, Chargers, Dolphins. 2 of the 3 of those are borderline. Miami's in disarray. Chicago, we'll see what happens. They just put up 47 against the elementary defense.
Exactly.
And the Rams are a bona fide playoff team in the NFC.
True, but that's my point. Our defense ain't done nothing to them.
Hold on, though. What do I say after that, though? And Tisha, no, I have not listened to Femi on the fan yet. I need you to summarize it. Give me the spark notes in the live chat.
No, you said you're going to stay. I agree. You said that you're going to stay strong, but at the same time, there is good optimism going in, considering the fact that that we are in a good trajectory and stuff.
No,
and
I
all
say that the total yardage is still through the roof. They're
Exactly.
still struggling.
I agree.
They're still
agree.
struggling to pressure organically. They have to manufacture pressure and manufacture only to
You
get
said
home.
that. You did.
Yeah.
And that part, I agree. I just felt like you backed up a bit because on how stern you was. I feel like you can stay stern. I feel like you can stay stern considering the fact that you know good and well Sarah gave you a list and not half of her list was completed yet. That is a fact. And not half of her list was completed that John wouldn't do. You even said yourself, you said, I'm looking at that defense. It still was getting destroyed because if you watch Jalen Waddle, when Tua finally got a pass to him, Jalen Waddle destructed us. As soon as he touched that ball. That's not even like, that's why I'm telling you, this is why I don't jump on that bandwagon of our defense is getting better. We'll see. We'll see. We still need a D lineman. I need a look because Zach Orr is proving to me he can't work out because he's putting Mike Green in coverage and he's still putting D lineman in coverage. That's weird to me. I'm sorry.
You and I are not that far off at all.
Okay.
You're funny that you're funny. You're going down this route of that I've been speaking outlandishly in the sense that look, I acknowledge this right here. Okay, let me pull this up right now so that we can all acknowledge this and also still give the context that's necessary, like you're doing right now, to talk about some of the lingering deficiencies that still are in play. Here are the numbers right here, pre and post Alohi Gilman acquisition. Okay, weeks 1 through 5. As Evan noted via Super Chat within the last week, I think it was at the end of last week. Yes, the defense was banged up significantly. No Roquan, no Marlon, and no others at times through a good chunk of weeks 1 through 5 that you're seeing on the left-hand column. 35.4 points per game, 408.8 total yards per game, 262.4 through the air, 146.4 on the ground, 2 takeaways. It's been night and day in terms of output since week 6. Now, you see the total yards, still total yardage, they're struggling. It's still struggle city. To your point, Devon Achane got whatever he wanted. Jalen Waddle at times got whatever he wanted. They bent but did not break. Similarly to the way that they performed against Chicago. Was that more about how Chicago mismanaged that game? Yes, at the end of the first half, at the end of regulation. Caleb Williams, 2 different intentional groundings. You got to give Zach Orr and his defense and some of the scheme and some of the design there credit. But I'm with you. Like, I'm not sitting here and standing on the table that all of a sudden I've forgotten what's still on tape. No, all I'm doing is acknowledging that the end result has been different than the previous 5 weeks combined, aside from the Rams game. Still went down as an L.
Okay.
And we'll see now what they're going to be the second half stretch with Alohi freeing up Kyle, with Carl Lawson entering it as a rotational player, and whoever they bring in between now and 4 p.m. tomorrow. Capiche?
Capiche. I respect that. And one quick last thing. The guy in the comment section talking about need Ozempic. Just want you to know, even though you see the fat face, this fat face used to be 600 pounds. So I did it.
And let me be clear, on top of that, I have absolutely no room for that in the live chat. I'm going to go find that mother effer.
No, it's all good. No. It's all good. It's all good.
All right, brother.
Appreciate it.
Send me dinner. Oh, that's great. That is great. Bryce D says Bobby's not even a Ravens fan. Bryce, you are so fucking late to the party, it's not even funny. There's tardy and there's what you are. Figure it out, Bryce. Thanks for being here. I'm glad you are. Richard, baby, welcome to the program. Good to see you, brother.
What's up, Bobby? How you doing?
Great, man. How are you?
Oh, man. It's hearing some of the shit that's going on already. Oh, my God. This shit's funny.
What's going on? How was your... Well, actually, we're not going to talk about that, but we'll text about that. You're a player between now and 4 p.m. tomorrow.
Shit. I've been on the Dexter Lawrence bandwagon since like week 3. I want him. I think he has a lower contract than Quentin Williams, so that's one. So Quentin Williams will cost you about $24 million a year. Dexter Lawrence costs you 20. Oof. So that's that part of it.
Yeah.
Number 2, there's a lot of buzz about Quentin Williams. There's a lot of buzz about all these other players. We'll see. I mean, historically speaking, the Ravens haven't gone after the player that
everybody's
they're linked to, except for Malachi Starks. Yeah. So, I mean, that was the only time that maybe That's the only time they ever got it right. Weeks ahead of in advance. So I'm not expecting them to get a Quentin Williams. Now, as far as compensations to go, I'd say Dexter Lawrence for a second because we generally can't pick anybody to save our lives in the second and a fifth. Because who the fuck needs 5 fifth-round picks? And then that was Saul. I think that Saul is the D line. It's insurance in case Matabika can't come back, which we'll see. It's concerning. And then the other move I want to see. I mean, I think I'm on the same bandwagon as everybody else. I want Kevin Zeitler. I think Kevin Zeitler is a 35-year-old offensive guard. I think we can get him for a fifth and a seventh. I honestly think that we can do two, third day picks, and we can get him. I don't think it's going to take a whole lot.
Okay.
I think he's in his last year of his contract, if I'm not mistaken. I
gotta look into that.
I think he's either in the last year or he has one more year on his contract. But I think he's pretty much coming up, and that's the reason why his name's been buzzing around.
Gotcha.
So I mean, I think that he can definitely work. He's a stopgap. But the Ravens definitely need to address the trenches on both sides next year. I don't understand why this hasn't been addressed since what was the first one that Mahomes lost against the Rams? The Rams gave the blueprints when Matthew Stafford beat Patrick Mahomes.
And Philly followed up that blueprint, and we saw it yesterday. Buffalo carried that blueprint out too.
And then also the Eagles last year.
That's what I meant.
There's so many different instances of trenches winning in the playoffs. And then one thing that I kind of observed, and I mean you can agree or disagree, but I think EDC is trying too damn hard to not be Ozzie Newsome. He does a lot of things that Ozzie didn't. Ozzie built from the trenches. EDC does not. And Ozzie also took a little bit longer to move off of guys that he drafted in the late rounds, and EDC did not. Now, has that worked out for EDC? I think in some cases it has, but I mean, you moved off of players like Seiler from Miami, and he's absolutely balling out. There could have been an opportunity where we could have had him on a team, and then maybe that solves a lot of the pressure that we're having issues with.
Thanks for the call, brother. Appreciate you.
Yep.
Couple things on that. Zeitler's on a 1-year deal, and that first Super Bowl loss for Mahomes was against Tom Brady's Buccaneers. So that's that. Judah, welcome to the program, brother. Appreciate you, man.
What's going on, Bobby?
Oh, look at this guy. Look at the headset he's got going on. Run it.
Hey, look, I'm going to be real quick, man. But listen, I was listening to I don't know which guy it was, but he was talking about the Tez Walker situation. And I completely echo his sentiments. I believe that this team was very high-powered and dangerous when Tez Walker was on the field. I mean, you said it was a small sample size. It was a small sample size, but the small sample size that we have of Tez, usually when you have a small sample size, that can be a good thing or a bad thing. So I'm a firm believer in keeping everything balanced, because if his small sample size was bad, nobody will forget that. So let's not forget that the small sample size that Tez Walker had was amazing. Because at one point,
can I jump in for a second? Because you're not standing on the table that our previous call was, though, are you? In terms of he should be out snapping with the way they're currently rotating guys and the way that Todd Monken's kind of putting things together targets wise. You're not standing on that table, are you?
Yes, I'm here to cause controversy, Bobby. The controversy is Rashad Bateman should not be getting more snaps than Tez Walker. And I understand the business part, because I think you explained, because I'm not big on business, but I think you kind of explained to me the fact that they put so much into Bateman, right? That it would kind of be on them, it wouldn't benefit them to play Tez over Bateman, even if indeed Tez is better. I believe everybody in that locker room knows that Tez is better. It's no coincidence that when Lamar Jackson is in the game and Tez Walker is in the game, Lamar Jackson is automatically looking for Tez Walker. It's no coincidence that he gets so many passes. Another thing I'm gonna point out to people that's not paying attention, what makes Tez Walker so good at what he does is that Tez Walker is able to get past the secondary in the 3 seconds that Lamar Jackson is allowed to look for a receiver. Most of the time, you look at the passing that Bateman get. If Lamar Jackson can only get the ball to Bateman in a 3-step drop, he is not even open yet. Usually, Bateman gets the ball after Lamar has made 2 defenders miss, and Bateman is sitting there by himself because no corner can cover somebody for 5 seconds. In the 3 seconds that a corner can cover Bateman, he is always covered. He is not beating nobody off the line. He is not running these amazing routes that everybody keeps saying that he's running. He is not doing that. That is not the product that Bateman is putting on the field. That is a falsehood. The truth of the matter is that everything that people say Bateman is, Tez is that and more. He is a better wide receiver in every way. Route running, speed, jumping, catching. When the last time you seen Bateman go up over defender and catch anything? I'm not even sure this man can jump off the feet to go up to get anything. The only time he leaves his feet is to fall on the ground when the ball is hitting him in the head when he's wide open. It has to be talked about. And the thing is, Bateman should be the one on the trade block because right now they have to capitalize and trade Bateman while his value is high before the rest of the league figure out that he's actually a bum. Let's get rid of him now before the rest of the league figure out that he's not as good as he's being marketed to be, because he's not. He has never outplayed Tez since Tez has been there. In the offseason, every offseason that Tez has been in Baltimore, the reports is that Tez is outplaying everybody. This has happened 2 off seasons in a row. And the first time we got to see him in the regular season, this guy at one point had 3 catches for Baltimore, and all 3 of them were for touchdowns. This has to be talked about. We can't keep ignoring this.
Thanks for the call, brother. Appreciate you.
All right.
Later, man. Drive safe. Here's the thing. Here's Bateman. When you look around at the way wide receiver contracts have ballooned, Rashad is the bargain of all bargains. They did right by the player this offseason to extend him. He's a red zone threat. He does have the capability of being a vertical threat. We've seen him as big play bait. We've also seen some of the weird, like pulling up on a route and what happened on the far side of the right-hand side of the field with Cooper Rush, like stopping almost at the catch point or right before the catch point, leading to an interception. John Harbaugh basically called it out like, yeah, he just stopped. He just stopped. So some of that's been strange. And like, is it an effort thing? Like, what's up with that? But I've been saying it all. I said it all off season long, even when he was balling out in training camp and preseason. Book me for Devontae Walker in place of D-Hop, who likely won't be back next year, as wide receiver 3 behind Zay and behind Bateman. That's where I'm at. He is a bargain, Luke. Luke, he's a productive player. He's coming off. How many touchdowns did he have last year? 9? That was a career best, and he doubled, if not tripled, his previous seasons combined in that category. He's a productive player. Is he a headache? Perhaps. But he's a productive player, a red zone threat, and he's somebody that when you look at the wide receiver market, that is literally the definition of a bargain. I'm here to cause controversy. At least he didn't hide it from it, did he? Julian, talk to me, brother.
Oh man, I'm not going to touch on that Tez and Bateman situation. I'm gonna
How
leave
did we
that
even
alone.
get here? It's the trade. It's the trade deadline.
Hey.
Like, how did we even get here?
Judah had that shit on his mind for a while, so I'm gonna just be like, all right, let them touch on that. I'm not gonna touch on that. I love both of these guys. I'm not gonna say nothing about that.
My man said, "I'm gonna be quick," and then went off. Just went off.
He had that shit on his mind for a while. I could tell. Like he came out snapping with that one.
Oh shit.
Well, I'm gonna just jump on this trade situation and give you my thoughts on it. My head is telling me there's a trade coming, but my heart is telling me there's nothing coming. That's just where I'm gonna believe more into my heart that a trade is not coming, because I think we've seen this little story before with EDC. He will make a trade for like a low bargain, maybe a player that probably will produce but probably won't produce, and then we'll get a report out of nowhere saying, "Oh, well, he tried to make a trade for this guy, and then it just fell through or something like that." I'm like, really? Like we could have had this guy on our team, and then it just fell through for some reason, or somebody snatched him up. I don't know. It could be the Eagles again, snatching everybody up that they want to, but I don't know. If I wanted to say it like this, I would say that they will probably make a trade. I would say trust my heart that
Okay.
they won't, but I would say with my head, I think they will. Maybe some player from the Jets, maybe, or I wouldn't say the Titans because the Titans really hate us, so we're not gonna go there with them. But
They're not doing shit with them.
they hate us to the end of time. I mean, whatever. I don't whatever. Fuck them anyway. Um, I say the Jets maybe, and the Dolphins will probably maybe get Bradley Chubb. I don't know. I mean, we have the ammunition to do it, but I would say either the Jets or the Dolphins. Try to look at those two teams.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
All right. No problem.
Later, man.
Later.
Well, under 24 hours out, guys. Trade deadline right around the corner. Kwame checking in. He says, sorry, Judah, I disagree completely. Bateman doesn't get many opportunities, even coming off a career year. He's got to be frustrated. Tez is nowhere near the route runner that Bate is. Drive safely. Good stuff, Kwame. Oh, look who we got here. It's not in the form of a super chat. But what's funny about my guy Taurus here, he doesn't tend to, when he calls in, which he often does, and I appreciate that, he doesn't tend to bring this kind of energy that's right here in the bottom left of the screen when he's mano-y-mano. Now, do you now, Taurus? It's also been a few days, and Baltimore Ravens Vault at gmail.com inbox remains waiting for I have Horus Taurus, whatever the hell your Gmail is. It's been a minute. For the audio only folks, shut up, Bobby, you cupcake. What's that make you, Taurus? Little dumpling. This episode is brought to you by the Bobby Baltimore Discord server. And this group is growing on a daily basis. Right now, as a pinned comment in the live chat, you guys can drop in. It's 24/7 conversations surrounding Baltimore sports and beyond. It is free to join. I would love for you to do so. The live chatter. Oh, boy. You got to love it. You got to love it. Listen, it's hard to multitask. Don't get me wrong. But if you think that I'm incapable of reading the live chat while also solo hosting a show, you're probably going to want to think again. And if you throw some shit in the live chat, it's probably not going to go unnoticed. Just throwing that out there. Join the Discord group. I would love to have you guys. A lot of chatter in here leading up to the deadline. We talk Maryland athletics across the board for those of you who are Terps fans. Baseball chatter. The Braves just hired their new manager. Washington Capitals hockey underway. Basketball, of course, regular season underway. And you get a welcome shout out for becoming members. Just like Legal Action did, became member number 1018. Evan rejoined the group as well. Great to have you guys. Ice Tray Flame Boy. Not sure what that means, but I love it. This is hilarious right here. This is hysterical right here. Hashtag skip mode crane gang. This is one of those that I'm talking about. This is the type of shit that I'm talking about. Now, Taurus, I don't want to talk in private. Matter of fact, I told you what led to what took place last week face-to-face, mano-y-mano, and you were good enough to call in. I'm glad you did. You took it like a man, I thought, at that point. I don't want to talk in private. There's a lot of people that are using certain hashtags in your name. And I don't know. If you want back in on the vault in terms of full privileges, then you would have thought you'd probably emailed by now to share more of your perspective. But that inbox remains chilling. Matter of fact, Sea King actually is the only guy in our inbox because he just texted me, he emailed us yesterday. He's now working for a ticket company. He wants to give me Bucks tickets. I'm taking him up on that. Forget a walk and talk. We're going to a Bucks game, baby. Thanksgiving weekend. Anyway, hashtag skip mode crane gang. He says, what in caps, how the hate for Tez is so apparent to you, Bobby. Yes, I hate to. Okay. Yes, I hate Devontae Walker. I hate his guts. And that's why I don't feel like, given the state of the Ravens pass catchers, both as wide receivers and tight ends, the deepest tight end room in the league, I might add. Yes, for looking at that, knowing that there's a lot of mouths to feed, including running backs who are capable of catching the football in the backfield. Yes, thinking that Devontae Walker is not a true component of this offense as wide receiver 3 until 2026 and beyond is English for hatred. Skip mode Crane Gang with the hashtag attached to the front of it. Figure it out, bro. Let's go. Shape up. As Aaron Boone used to say, my guys are savages in that box. Clean it up. Hashtag skip mode Crane Gang. Clean that shit up. Classic reference. If you know, you know. Clean that shit up. How about it? Any trades happen? Can I go back to the timeline for a second without getting blasted in the live chat for some bullshit? Is that okay? Am I okay to pop over here for a second? Monday Night Football, and you can't even watch it if you've got YouTube TV because of what's going on right now with Disney, which is some bullshit. Daylight savings, first day. Sun setting here in Florida. For those of you in the Northeast, have you noticed? Have you ever traveled to Florida post daylight savings? Because there's about a 30 to 35 minute difference in terms of daylight. Days are extended longer here. Have you guys noticed that? I'm obviously new to this whole thing down here, but it certainly seems like it's getting darker a little bit later. This is only day 1 or day 2 of daylight savings. But I think sunsetting at like 5:42, 5:45. It's 5:46 right now. Anyway, we can do. Okay. Skip mode Crane Gang says that I'm still his guy. But Tez should be in for Bateman. Still, I believe. You know what I believe, Crane Gang? I think you're bullshitting. That's what I think. But I love you, and I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad that I'm still your guy. Oh, I love the live chat. Some of you guys truly think that I can't multitask when I'm solo hosting. And you're in for a rude awakening. You're in for a rude awakening. Oh, and to be clear, Judah, I'm not open to packaging Bateman. I'm just saying I don't get the theory that's out there or the narrative that it should be Tez over Bateman. I don't get that. Tisha wants me to get out the chat. Tisha, you think I'm getting out the chat? Maverick wants some. Anybody else want some right now? I'm ready to just divvy it out. Anybody want some? Maverick wants some. He says Bobby's a closet Steelers fan. Maverick, first of all, shape up with that selfie. All right? Show us a selfie that makes you feel like nobody should approach you on the street. How about that? First and foremost, Mav, since you're getting after Rave about Ozempic and bullshit, even though he was 600 pounds and lost multiple hundreds of pounds. All right? So first of all, retake the selfie. How about it? And after that, I'm not even going to entertain the Steelers bullshit. It's between Baltimore and Pittsburgh for the division, and I think it's a flip of the coin from this point forward. Kwame says, Bobby, I see why Rokon blocked you. That's funny. He didn't block me. He unfollowed me on Instagram. It was fun while it lasted, wasn't it? Mr. Emporium says, Bobby, stop acting like a tough guy all the time. It's getting old. You are face-to-face screaming at your followers behind a screen. Learn how to talk to a woman. Why don't you call in? Let's go mano a mano. You can come lecture me on the program. Why don't you do that? How about it, Mr. Emporium? Appreciate the feedback, though. It's not often that I raise my voice, but when I do. TBK says, again, Andrews is the trade piece. Ravens have always done well at the tight end position. Heap, Sharp, Pitta, Dixon, Boyle, Likely, and Kohler are ready for tight end 1 and 2. It's time. Go get a damn dog on defense. But TBK, I think Kohler's going to get paid. And if they extend Isaiah, they're probably not going to allocate that kind of money for what Kohler might be able to get elsewhere. He's a dog. Go look at his Iowa State film and statistics. This dude was a productive player at Iowa State. He was a pass-catching player for them. So I'm not convinced the Ravens are going to be able to justify keeping Kohler around in the offseason, just to be clear on that. I'm open to the idea of the Mark Andrews conversation, but I think some people undervalue what Charlie Kohler is because of who he's had to play behind so far to start off his career. And remember, we may not even be having this conversation if he didn't have that sports hernia procedure at the end of training camp or midway through training camp, or maybe it was at the start. I can't remember specifically when it was, going back to his rookie season, that he was behind the 8 ball from the jump. Appreciate you, TBK. No fucks given says, can we talk about D-Hop not getting more touches? Quan says you can draft another tight end, Bobby, but you're assuming that they're going to come in and bring whatever Charlie Kohler is given, which is a lot. Anybody else want shit? Who else wants it? Who wants something? Barry says, kind of think this side of you is missing on the vault, Bobby. Listen, we've addressed this before. We'll address it again. When you have a partnership and you have a show, you have an obligation to handle your business in a way that's best for the partnership. If I were to get up here and do this with Sarah, that's probably not going to jive. Like, it's a different format with a partnership. It's a different format with 2 people. And so I like kind of letting my hair down, if you will, every once in a while on this channel, allowing me to show more of a personal side. Not that I hold back on that. It's just, I think I'd be doing a disservice to the partnership if I added this kind of flair and entertainment value. It's 2 different shows, 2 different approaches, all under the same umbrella, which is obviously Ravens content year-round. Mr. Emporium says, spending your afternoons getting into screaming matches at random people behind a screen. You are 5'7", 140 pounds. Take it easy. Go on a date with a woman. First of all, it's woman, not women, unless you want me to date plural, which I'm happy to do, Mr. Emporium. Also, you got to get your shit right. 5'8" with the proper shoes on, $170, and I work out 5 days a week. Mr. Emporium, what you're going to probably want to do is, if you're lecturing me on my love life, one, I'm willing to listen because obviously my love life is a whole nother conversation. But at least put a goddamn selfie of you up there instead of whatever this graphic is. I'm not sure. Is it your business, Emporium? I'd love to hear about it. Throw your name on it, will you? Let's go. Shape up. Sorry, I can't yell. I forgot about that. Robbie Pate says, trade Kohler while he's hot. He has been hot in recent weeks. That's for darn sure. For sure. Mr. Emporium says, 5'8", 170. Sorry, that changes everything. Didn't realize you were a tank. I didn't realize you were afraid to put your name to talking out the side of your mouth, which is exactly what you're doing right now. Why don't you call in? I'll throw the guest line in there. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's stop the show until Mr. Emporium starts. Actually, you know what? I got some time. I'm not catching the sun. Sun's already down. Mr. Emporium, right here. Here we go. Right now. I'm not going on until you call in, matter of fact. I'm not going to say anything until you call in. Let's go. Right now. It's in the live chat right now. When I see you in person, we'll talk. No. You're calling in right now. Let's go. Let's have a face-to-face conversation. Come on. I'm not going forth with any Ravens content until you call in. I'll start answering texts too. I'll get caught up on texts. Okay, walk and talk scheduled for tomorrow night. See what's going on in Hinge. A couple new matches. Group message, we're going to Belize this week. Celebrate my mom's 60th. Can't wait. You guys are going to see me live from Belize. Looks like Sea King's trying to get me into the Bucks game. That'll be cool. Tank Bromansky. Here he comes. He called in. I love it. I respect it. You got to be fucking kidding me. Are you shitting me? You're a piece of shit. You know that? You are. This is some bullshit right here.
I'm actually not, for the record, I'm actually not that guy, whoever Mr. Emporium is. I'm not the person in your chat saying that stuff. I've been in the chat the whole time. I just took advantage because I got some things to talk about right now because I'm sick of hearing everyone drag our man Bateman fucking day in and day out.
30-second on the floor, okay?
Not you. I'm not talking about you.
No. I'm taking a 30-second timeout on the floor. Matter of fact, full timeout. The
Okay.
fact that you just duped me so hard into thinking that this loudmouth that's been in the live chat actually wants to stand on business, even though he puts a graphic up as his header. So he can't actually, when the lights are bright, he actually lays down like a board. He lays down. Anyway, that's hysterical. Talk to me about Bateman, and let's hope the real Mr. Emporium, let's say that, the real Mr. Emporium will actually stand up and stand out, because I got a lot of questions in terms of his sincerity. Go ahead, Ev.
So, listen, I don't think Bateman's been up to last season's production. That's undeniable at this point. But to throw out like cherry picking the 2 or 3 drops he's had this season to slander dude is wild. Look at fucking CD Lamb in week 1. How many drops did he have in that one game? Look at Devontae Adams against us. How many drops did he have in that one game? Point being, these guys make drops. It happened. That's not a reason to get rid of them, and that's definitely not a reason to put someone like Tez Walker, who I think is great, who I'm excited about at his position, at his spot. Like, it's just not how the league works. It's not how coaches evaluate players, and it's not realistic. Now, if we want to trade Rashad Bateman, I'm not going to say that's not a bad. I'm not going to trash that idea, but it's all dependent on compensation. And the same thing goes with Mark Andrews, and the same thing goes with all these other guys that all these callers want to get rid of, but not just to get rid of them. Like, what are we talking about? Like, if we're going to get rid of Mark Andrews, then I want to hear what y'all want for him, because I'm not getting rid of him unless it's getting packaged for either a round 2 or a round 3 draft pick, and then we're turning around and using that draft pick to actually bringing in a player that we can use. Like, we're not just getting rid of players, especially all-pro tight ends, without there being a move to be had and to benefit from it.
Well said, brother.
Yep,
Appreciate
thank you. Yep.
You caught me off guard there. You really did. I was excited. I thought for the second consecutive week that Ryan, right, somebody that was actually willing to engage in conversation after chatting and running that mouth. By the way, shout out Gowie. Gowie is in the live chat right now. What's up, Gow? I love when people not only get after me in the chat, but are willing to call in and say, hey, may I have this dance mano y mano, face to face? There's another Mr. Emporium that just dropped into live chat. His camera is off at the moment. So let's give him a chance to potentially prove this is him. Let's talk about it. His camera is not yet on. He's been doing a lot of talking in the live chat, and now his camera is on, and I think I see a cigar. Am I looking at a cigar? Until I see an actual human face, we're going to go ahead and hold off. But Evan really did just dupe me, didn't he? Did he not just dupe me? I was really excited that was the real Mr. Emporium. I really was. The kid Gowie is in the building. What's up, Gow? Good to see you, brother. He was supposed to join the show on Monday night back in September against Detroit. And unfortunately, he couldn't get to where I was at the tailgate, which is a total bummer. If you think, Mr. Emporium, if you think that you're not going to actually show your full face, you're not coming on the program. Just to be clear with you. I wish you guys could see what I'm looking at right now. I'm not having him on. Oh my, you terrible. You know what? Listen, you know what? I'm muting you for starters. I'm muting you as I bring you on. Okay. Look who's duping me as well. Everybody. There's so many fake Mr. Emporiums out there right now that rave. Before I unmute, no, I'm going to unmute you. You stand there for a second. Okay. Let me be clear. Can we all be clear and very concise in terms of what's taken place in the last couple of minutes. Hold on, Rafe. Hold on. Mr. Emporium has become the latest example of bark, but just no bite. He has run his mouth consistently in the live chat. I stopped the show accordingly, stopped giving my subscriber base Ravens football content, gave him the invitation, and he laid down like a stiff board that he is. That's the bottom line. Raven, what is Rave doing right now? But the fact, the moral of the story here is the bark but no bite mentality has absolutely no room in this here live chat, and it is silent. It is crickets inside the channel right now. So, Mr. Emporium, I appreciate you for being a subscriber. You got no bark, baby. And for that, you ain't in the Bobby Baltimore doghouse, baby. No, you're in the backyard looking on the inside. You're looking in at the party. You're late to the party. You weren't even invited to the party. What's up, Rave?
No. Listen. I had to say something because I know how I came in a Rave kingdom. I would not let me in, you know what I'm saying? So I had to say something real quick because he said that Bateman BS, okay? I'm sorry. I had to say something.
Who the hell invited you back on here?
Bateman is the same guy that dropped a wide open pass. And he said it was because of the sun. Because of the sun. Oh, if you're going to act like we forgot, let me ask you a question, Bobby, and everyone else who defends Bateman. What year has Bateman got 1,000 yards?
He hasn't. He got over 750 last year, I think. 750 something.
So he hasn't got 1,000 yards of first round pick, right?
I know where you're going. Look, he can be in a package. I'm not saying that he's untouchable. He should be in a package. I'm saying the fact that Tez Walker, there's people standing up on a table right now for Devontae Walker saying that he should outsnap Rashad Bateman. Why?
Here's my thing. I don't think we get rid of Bateman because I think we got him on a cheap deal, right? Something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, on a cheap deal. Now, snaps. Respectfully, Bobby, ever since Tez Walker's got in this season, I'm not gonna lie, it's looked beautiful. It does. Bateman is a good route runner. I think he can get space when he's like, but like one caller said that, but when he gets off that snap, he's slow. He's very slow. He ain't like quick Zay Flowers and come off the snap fast or you know.
I've been going for 2 hours. Time to shut it down, brother. Appreciate you. Thanks for the second call and another dupe, by the way. The moral of the story is, guys, 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, trade deadline. We'll see if it's going to be a late night. We'll see if we're live again before the night's over. Mr. Emporium has not shown up. He is a Jag. Just a guy. And for that, we'll wait and see if he rises to the occasion. I appreciate you guys for hanging out tonight. Great attendance, great viewership. I would love for you to join the Bobby Baltimore Discord server. It's free to join. You can click on the link that I have pinned right now in the live chat. Shout out Gowie. Shout out everybody who called in. And Sarah and I will catch you tomorrow at 12 noon. Hey, Taurus, it's BaltimoreRavensVault@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Appreciate you guys. 2 hours with a multi-purposed video, a repurposed video coming up. Be on the lookout in the best of section. Kevin Bonham on the way out says, keep it lit, a.k.a. Bobby Bullets. And the bullets will always be flying, Kevin. KBJ. Appreciate you, fellas and ladies and everybody else in between, like Mr. Emporium, a.k.a. I laid down for a living.